Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Wipeout 3. If I sound hesitant or perhaps a bit morose when I say that, it's because it's the third time I've recorded a Let's Look at for this goddamn game. But I've been having serious trouble capturing from the Wii U. I think I figured out the problem, so hopefully this is the third and final time I have to look at this game, and hopefully this is the third and final entry in this goddamn franchise. So, when I tweeted that I was buying a bunch of Wii U games, I mentioned that I bought Wipeout 3, and people were like, wait, kind of cool futuristic racing series Wipeout, or pretty not cool obstacle course based on a TV show game for the Kinect and the Wii and now the Wii U. And unfortunately it was the latter, but I bought this game because A, I have kind of a soft spot for MXC, which is kind of like Takeshi's Castle, which was the model for Wipeout, I guess. And B, for whatever reason, I kind of have a reverence for shitty games, and this certainly falls into that category. I mean, it's the whole reason I started doing Poison Mushroom is because, you know, for whatever weird reason, I actually kind of enjoy playing games like this, but certainly, I plunked down $50 hard-earned dollars for this game. This is the only copy that was available at Best Buy on the day of the Wii U launch, so I feel very privileged for that. But without further ado, let's get started here. So if you're not familiar with Wipeout, it's basically a TV competitive obstacle course game where people compete in costume, usually not costumes this crazy with like the rainicorn, the rainbow unicorn boots and the underwear and the umbrella hat, but still crazy costumes. They compete with each other over a variety of obstacles, and if they win, they get $50,000. So we're just gonna start here. First things first in terms of negatives for this game. There's 12 episodes available for play. Each one is about 5 to 10 minutes long, depending on your aptitude in the game, so that amounts to about 1 hour to 2 hours of unique, you know, non-repeated gameplay. And these are basically just palette swaps of each other, so there's basically about 10 minutes of original gameplay here. I've played through all the episodes except Wipeout Winter Games, because that one hard crashed my console, so you can probably take that as a negative too. But whatever, let's just jump into one here. Randomly, let's take Classic Wipeout, cool. And we are going to play the full episode. You get this episode selection, or round selection, after you've beaten the episode. I don't know why you wouldn't want to play through the whole episode. Like, there's no section that I've played in this entire game that appealed to me so much that I wanted to do it over and over again.
Because it is a great day for Classic Wipeout.
And with any luck, it's a bad day for a zombie apocalypse. Fingers crossed, everybody.
Today's theme...
Some of the absolute worst commentary and lip syncing I've seen in a modern game, for sure.
That was classic John Anderson right there. Whoa, it started already.
Welcome to the Wipeout Qualifiers, the slap happiest place on Earth. This classic course isn't about...
Alright, I'm gonna skip over the rest of the dialogue here because it's not that important. Let's talk about what is important, the actual gameplay of Wipeout. So I'm holding the Wii U gamepad right now. One of the very few things I like about this game is that if I wanted to, I could play the entire game just by looking at the Wii U gamepad screen. But mostly, you only need 2 or 3 buttons to play this. I can move forward, backwards. I can't move side to side at all right now anyway. I can jump, I can slide, and I can crouch. And our only goal is to get to the exit as soon as possible. Now, a number of you people are probably saying, sorry, I didn't mean you people, but a number of people are probably saying, Northernlion, if the goal of the game is to get to the end as fast as possible, well, you're surely gonna lose because you just took like 20 seconds talking about the basic mechanics. When you could have, whoa, nice physics, when you could have been, you know, racing ahead, beating the competition. Well, here's the thing, astute viewer. I've never lost in this game. I've had runs where... Oh, that's not good for us. Oh, maybe it is, I guess. I've had runs where I did absolutely terribly, but I've never even come close to losing. I don't even know if losing is a possibility in the single player of the game. I guess it's kind of like a score attack thing. As long as I've finished the levels, then I have always been able to win. How did I not stick the landing on that one? I mean, I was traveling at like 500 meters per second, but that's okay. So I guess that's the whole crux of Wipeout. That's the reason people like the show. I don't have nothing against the show. You know, it's light entertainment. The replays are totally worthless. Yeah, like, it's fine. Like I said, I enjoyed shows like MXC and stuff like that. Oh my god, please just help me out here. If you fail enough times, they will just skip ahead on the obstacle. But again, failing the obstacle does not necessarily mean failing the game. Seriously. This is the only obstacle in the entire game that offers any form of difficulty. But again, need I remind you that failing an obstacle does not mean failing the mission, and beyond that, it doesn't actually affect our ability to win or lose. Here we go. Let's try this one last time. There, that one's gonna be good, I think. More or less. Taking forever here, but we're still gonna get it done fairly quickly. And one of the problems I have with this game is that there's a serious, like, I mean, I feel like an idiot talking about problems that I have with Wipeout 3 as if this is like intellectual game criticism or something like that, when it's quite clearly not. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna surprise anybody by saying I don't like this game. It's more to just show off the shitty gameplay and maybe get a couple of laughs out of it. But one of the things I really don't like is that there's a serious inconsistency when it comes to the physics. Like, sometimes you'll get bounced off the big balls and you'll just, like, stick the landing perfectly fine even though you're traveling at near the speed of light. And sometimes you'll just, like, fall off the edge for seemingly no reason. Alright, so there's basically two kinds of levels in Wipeout. There's the level that you saw that we just did, which is like an obstacle course style level. And then there's levels like this where you're basically stationary and your only goal is to survive as long as you can, essentially. So all we can do on this level is duck and jump. It's weird that if you wanted to get needlessly heady about it, you could say that Wipeout is a very like minimalistic style platform game. Generally speaking, you only need a few buttons in order to accomplish your goals, but I really think the game would have benefited from at least allowing you to have 3D control as opposed to just like a holding up on the D-pad the entire time to play. Anyway, weirdly enough, these simplistic games are arguably the most fun because at least you know when you lose. Like, this is a classic kind of style that's been around since, you know, like the Atari 2600 days, maybe even earlier than that. But it works, you know? It's the same kind of like, it's almost like a worse version of Fusion Frenzy, which was basically a worse version of Mario Party. But that being said, it's the strongest point that this game has to offer. So I'm only going to be playing the single player mode today. There is two multiplayer modes actually in Wipeout. I might actually succeed fairly well here. There's two multiplayer modes in Wipeout. And one of them is exactly the same as this. Basically, you just race against the opponent. You do it consecutively, but you can't actually see each other, which is unusual. But the other game mode is actually asymmetrical, and maybe I'll be able to show that on screen. Probably not, but because I can't see where my Wiimote is right now. Plus, there's nobody else here to play with me. I'm playing Wipeout by myself to show off the multiplayer. Controlling both control schemes kind of seems like the saddest thing that's ever happened. Anyway, as you can see, these games aren't particularly difficult. I don't even know what the scoring system is for either this level or the entire game in general. Because, like, succeeding on this level doesn't necessarily seem to make me more or less likely to succeed in the actual game. I think it might take seconds off of our total time, but I have no idea. Anyway, after every level, we also get ballsy bucks, which we can use to buy upgrades. I'm wearing some of those upgrades right now, which you can see by way of, like, the unicorn boots and a hat. I mean, those give me extra balance, extra speed. They improve my statistics, but again, what's the point in improving your statistics when, as far as I can tell, you can't actually lose in this game? There's an example of, like, what I consider to be inconsistent physics right there. Like, by all accounts, if we drew a free body diagram for that, you would probably expect me to have been thrown off, but no such luck. Now, another major complaint is that there's so little variety in the game. Like, I mean, amazingly, we've actually seen a decent variety in obstacles in the first few levels. That was kind of close. Or the first few rounds here, at least. I don't know what kind of nomenclature the game wants me to use. But this is pretty much all you'll see for the duration of the game. It's just variations on this. So we're playing like classic Wipeout, so all of the models are like unthemed right now. But, you know, most of the time, you'll have, like, those things that poke out and hit you, and it'll be like, okay, we're doing the hockey level, those are gonna be hockey sticks. We're doing the love level, those are gonna be, candy bars or something. You know, like Valentine's Day. What can I say? I'm a hopeless romantic. But, yeah, like, all the obstacles are basically just palette swapped and recycled from level to level. So there's not really a whole lot that's exciting here to show off. I can't stress enough how terrible the commentary is. By the way, this is the final round right here. So we're gonna pick up that ring, and again, no matter how badly I do, we will not lose. I have never lost. I mean, I realize, and when I say I've never lost, I'm not trying to toot my own horn and say like, oh, I'm the master of Wipeout 3D, because that would make me the lamest person of all time. It's not 3D either, it's just Wipeout 3, but what I am trying to say is that there is literally no difficulty in this game at all, because there's no possible risk of losing. So we're just gonna do some QTEs here, hit the A button again, that was difficult. And we're gonna land perfectly fine. But what I was gonna say is that, you know, I understand who this game is made for, and this game is not necessarily made for people like me. Like, I'm probably... Oh, no! I'm probably gonna be one of the only people who bought this game, did not receive it as, like, a promo from Activision, that is gonna do any kind of, like... Again, why did that... What the heck is going on here? We're still alive somehow. That is probably gonna do any kind of, like, video coverage on it, is my guess. Unless, you know, someone like IGN has done it already. Mostly this is going to be a game for kids. Okay, what do I do here? I'm stuck. I can't get to the end of the slide. There we go. Into the finish with style. Yeah, it's mostly for A, kids, and B, families who are fans of the show. And you know, for that purpose, I think there's a lot of other stuff on the Wii U that would be much better for you to purchase to play with your kids if you're looking at this. I mean, I realize that your hands are tied, though, if you're a proud papa or a proud mama and your kid's like, Mom, I want Wipeout for Christmas. Well, you're kind of sending your money to an evil empire by supporting this game, but I understand where you're coming from. By the way, I like this awkwardness here. I know that this franchise has come out for Kinect before, and I've seen some Kinect gameplay. You can actually like move your arms at this screen and maybe give an interview with Vanessa Lachey there, who looks like a weird Bratz-style stick figure who just stands awkwardly like, hey guys, I want to be part of the game too. You know, if you're doing an interview, you're supposed to hold the microphone over to the other person. Not that I haven't made that mistake before. But anyway, we're going to get going here. I can't stress enough how awful the commentary is. Like, I finished, their names are like John Anderson and John Henson. I remember one of them used to host Talk Soup, but anyway. I finished like the final round and I made like 15 mistakes, and John Anderson was like, a mistake-free run, way to go, player. And then John Henson was like, what? Don't worry, there's plenty of time for mistakes, John. And I'm like, A, not a mistake-free run. I failed a dozen times. B, there's not plenty of time for mistakes. It's the final round. Also, I've heard the commentary recycled like 1,000 times. So, what's the fun of Wipeout? I guess there's a host of crazy characters here. As you can see, I have no idea who these guys are. But anyway, they're probably related to the show and somehow. We could play as Vanessa Lachey if we wanted to. And we could dress her up however we choose, because we can trade in our ballsy bucks for things that will give us increased stats, but there's not really any point to it. Like, let's go in here and check out our helmets or something. So you can see, I can buy this one. Using the grace and agility of the dolphin, this beautiful helmet increases your swimming speed and balance. Nothing protects your noggin like wearing a good old-fashioned bucket. Let's give her the dolphin helmet, sure. And then go with the gloves, and let's see if we got new gloves. Oh, they're locked, okay. Sticky and great in water, the squid gloves enhance your balance and swim. Sure, why not? We're gonna put Vanessa Lachey in a very fishy outfit here. And for boots, do we have anything better? Why are these locked? I guess I'm not level 10 yet. Mixed feline agility and flair. What do you get? This pair of fashionable boots. That's what. Sure. Let's buy it. Whatever. Again, these you can see our stats here on the bottom of the screen, or like near the bottom right of the screen, but they don't have any meaningful impact on the game because you can't lose, at least in single player. We're gonna do another episode here because why the fuck not? I guess we might as well. Let's do... Again, I'm not gonna do Wipeout Winter Games because it hard crashed my console, but let's do the Getting Schooled one, and you will see how there is a shocking amount of basically cut and paste when it comes to the game design here. It looks like they were basically like, oh shit, they woke up from like a 5-day or 2-year drinking bender and were like, shit, the Wii U comes out tomorrow? Alright, just take Wipeout 3 for the Wii. Reskin it. We can do this, people. We've done it before 3 times. I can't believe that this franchise still exists. It must sell. I mean, there's people out there as dumb as I am, apparently. But I mean, for me, it was kind of like, A, it's a new console launch. B, it's the only game I bought at console launch that I know is going to be shitty. And C, I'm going to be able to get some entertainment out of it for hopefully a few people watching this at home. This is inarguably the worst game I've played on the Wii U so far. And it's the kind of shit that almost offends me on a more, like a deeper level. Because this is the exact kind of shit we want to avoid on the Wii U. This is what happened to the Wii, is like, you know, it got installed in 30 million homes or something like that. And then people were like, just put all your shovelware out on the Wii. Even if only like 0.5% of people buy it, we're going to turn a profit. I hope to God this game fails and the people involved in its design, if they do have any semblance of actual like artistic or creative game design talent at all, are forced to basically move on and do something more exciting and productive and worthwhile with their time. Anyway, as you can see, my brain was basically on complete autopilot, but I still managed to get through that last level totally fine. What the heck happened there? Sometimes you can grab onto the ledges and sometimes you can't. So we're gonna try to pick up all the rings. I haven't even mentioned the ring aspect of the game so far and the collectible aspect because it just doesn't matter. I'll see there's an example of how sometimes you can grab onto the edge and sometimes you can't. Yeah, it's completely meaningless. Again, what's wrong? Apparently my squid gloves didn't work that time. At least this girl actually has like, I'm not sure if it's the actual voice of the, oh my god, of the actress here. Oh, we've got some weird Vanessa Lachey inception. Are you gonna say anything? No? Wow. Insightful. I have no idea why that even exists there, unless there was some kind of like provision in her contract where she gets to be part of a video game or something. Good. Okay, again, Vanessa Lachey, it's just creepy that you're watching yourself silently fall over and over. This is the most difficult obstacle I think I've ever seen in this game, but obviously I got through it once. Because I did beat the game before. Well, I did beat all the episodes, I should say. Saying I beat the game makes it sound like more of an accomplishment than it actually is. But this is like the reason you buy this game, right? Is to watch like all sorts of crazy wipeouts and falls. It's just not worth it, basically. I realize I'm playing shitty right now, but again, keep this in mind when I finish. That I've been doing absolutely awfully right now, and watch what's gonna happen when we finish, because we're still gonna win. And I wanted to say win handily, but I can't. Oh, come on. Just grab onto the edge. I saw you do it earlier. I'm not going to say win handedly handily because we don't actually see any other metrics of how like other people are doing with respect to their score. Finally, just little patience is all it took there. Thanks, Axl Rose. Okay, we're going to try this. Thankfully, this is not a trampoline section, which are the most frustrating aspects of the game. Again, every time you fail an obstacle, it incurs a time penalty. I can't stress enough how unimportant these time penalties seem in the whole scheme of things. Oh no, I missed a ring! My ballsy bucks! Anyway.
I'd like to see my stockings run as fast as that.
I'd like to see my stockings run as fast as that? I kind of don't even get it. But you know what, Wipeout? That's okay. I'm not going to push the limit here. So I believe every episode consists of merely 3 rounds, so we should be on the final round now.
Round 3, kid.
No, it's 4 rounds, okay. Turns out, I don't know what I'm talking about. My journalistic credibility is completely shot. Strangely enough, because of all of the failed recording attempts to do Wipeout 3, this is probably like my 3rd most Wii U played game. As of right now, anyway. That's going to change drastically as more and more games come out for the console. But we've got this, Nintendo Land, New Super Mario Bros. U, and Zombie U. And I think I've played this, I mean, I like Zombie U a lot more than this game, but I think I've played this more than Zombie U up to this point. Alright, physics on that made perfect sense. Again, great inconsistency in the difficulty of the levels, too. As you can see, that one took like 20 seconds. Last one took me 4 minutes. I mean, that was also with penalties included, but anyway. Oh, man. So as you can see, you know, we're 20 minutes into this video, 15 minutes into the video. I'm about to breeze through the 2nd level here. That'll put me 1/6 of the way through the single-player content in this game, so there's really no circumstances in which I can recommend paying $50 for this game. Maybe as a $10 or $15 downloadable game, I would have looked past a lot of these flaws and just been like, yeah, you know what, it's not good, but it's fairly cheap, and at least you're not wasting a lot of money when you're, you know, buying this for your kids potentially. But for $50, man, this is crazy. This is a full-price game. You could actually get a decent Wii U game at launch for this. I'm not going to necessarily say it's the worst game available for Wii U launch, because there's a lot of really terrible looking ones that I have not actually played myself. You know, Funky Barn maybe comes to mind. Although I shouldn't pass judgment on those, because maybe it'll surprise me, who knows. This is a new obstacle that we've seen for the first time, but will show up in like 1,500 later episodes. And, you know, Sing Party and stuff like that I'm not really that interested in. But it's certainly the worst Wii U game by far that I've had the misfortune of playing. But again, I've got this weird penchant for shitty games, so I don't really feel like I've wasted my money. But I feel like if you buy the game, you will feel like you've wasted your money. So, you know, preferably just play like Doritos Crash Course on the 360 or something. It's free and not awful, amazingly. So we're going to succeed on this level right here. Oh my god, I just found my Wii U. Or, sorry, Wii Remote. Alright, so we got some weird, like, David Lynchian interview stylings going on here, but we're just going to exit. I don't give a shit about their commentary at all. So that's our single player. Let's talk about like overall game modes and stuff here. What kind of longevity do we have? So if you're in single player, you have 2 modes. You have quick play, which is basically just the episode selection screen that I did before, except you don't have the option to customize your character. You just keep your existing gear. And then you have single player, which is exactly the same as quick play, just like +1 menu screen. But if I turn on my Wii mode here, this is going to be pretty much the definition of loneliness, but that's okay. I'm going to plug in the nunchuck controller, or nunchuck to the controller here, and that will allow me to play some of the multiplayer games here. So let's take a look. I'm only going to play one of the multiplayer modes, because there's only 2. Wipeout Party, basically, is just exactly the same. Like, one person will play on the gamepad, and they'll look at the gamepad. One person will play with the Wii remote and nunchuck, and they'll look at the TV screen. You race at exactly the same time on exactly the same course, and you just, like, see ghosts of the other one. So you can't actually interact with each other. It's weird because it's simultaneous multiplayer, but you're also both completely ethereal. Like, you can't touch each other. So it's kind of like simultaneous time attack or something like that. Anyway, the one that actually has some value is trap attack here. So I'm gonna select, I gotta move back here, I think on the Wiimote. Sure, we'll just move forwards here. I just want to select the episode, really. I don't want to do any of this nonsense. Episode select is plus. Navigation's a little weird. Let's move on to an episode we haven't touched. Disenchanted Forest, and we're not gonna do this for very long. But I just want to demonstrate that this is the only mode with any sort of value in this game whatsoever. By far the most fun we've had playing Wipeout is with this mode, but it's still not worth getting the game at all. You might not be able to, or I can't hear those guys anymore because I'm listening through it entirely through the gamepad. But anyway, so I'm going to just move Vanessa Lachey forward a little bit here so you can see her. And then I'm going to demonstrate what I can do because on the gamepad I kind of have like not a top-down, but like an isometric view. So I can actually fuck with Vanessa here, and I can like shoot some tennis balls at her, as you can see right there. It doesn't really do anything. Like, you can kind of throw her off her game, but if she's like jumping through the air and I hit her with a tennis ball, it's not going to do anything. What I can do, let's move her forward just a little bit more. There's only two other things I can do. So I can shoot tennis balls by tapping the stylus on the screen. I can also give her the old chocolate fountain when she walks through here. Maybe that was too far. Yeah, I can give her the old chocolate fountain when she walks through there, and beyond that... where's the obstacle here? I guess I can swing this lollipop, as you can see on the screen. So if I actually finish this obstacle with Vanessa... Don't look at me! If I actually finish this obstacle with her, that was bad right there. Let's wait and get over there. Basically, I can choose when to trigger the traps, which is the only, like, unique and kind of okay aspect of this game. So, I mean, obviously I'm doing this a little bit asynchronously here, but if I tap on that... Oh, she goes into the strawberry pudding! Anyway... We're going to exit out of this here. I kind of don't know how. Maybe you can only do it on the Wiimote. It appears you can only do it on the Wiimote, which is crazy. We'll quit and go back to the main menu here. And that has basically been my exhaustive look at of Wipeout 3 on the Wii U. This isn't I mean, I'm not going to say it's a disappointing game, because what the hell did you expect? But what's most disappointing, or makes me the most cynical, I guess, is that this piece of shit is, like, literally $50. Like, if you go to the store... You're gonna find Wipeout 3 for 50 bucks. A lot of people are probably gonna, I mean, it's not really falling for it, because if you're watching this video, you're not the kind of person that would most likely shell out $50 for Wipeout 3, unless you had some kind of self-awareness and were like, okay, I'm buying this game specifically because it's gonna be shitty. That being said, you know, warn friends and family that if you want a family-friendly game on the Wii U, pick up Nintendo Land if you don't have it already, pick up New Super Mario Bros. U. I'm sure there's other stuff that will keep you from sending your money to support this evil empire. I said it before, and it's a little bit distasteful, but this is the kind of game where I feel like I would rather send my money to Al-Qaeda than support them making a bullshit endeavor like this. Obviously, that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but again, whatever. Wipeout 3 is pretty much impossible to recommend under any circumstances, so please do not waste your money on this. In any case, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Hopefully this video works, otherwise I'm going to blow my brains out, because recording Wipeout 3 for a fourth time will be enough to kill both my body and soul. But again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.